evening, soccer fans, and welcome to Rochester Regional Stadium, home of your Med City FC Mayhem. We're pleased to have you all at our National Premier Soccer League home game as we take on our conference foe, Minneapolis City Soccer Club. We hope you thoroughly enjoyed tonight's game. Now let's meet our starting lineups for both teams. First, for the visitors, number 2, Aaron Olson. Number 7, Martin Brown Jr. Number 8, Tim Wills. Number 9, Isaac Brent. Number 10, Ben Wexler. Number 12, Will Kidd. Number 17, Clinton Stockman Willis. Number 18, Trey Benhart. Number 21, Abdallah Da. Number 23, Maxwell Kent. And goalkeeper number 1, Matt Elder. And now, let's meet the starters for your Med City FC Mayhem. Number 2, Javier Gomez. Number 3, Frederick Manson. Number 6, Nacho Garrido. Number 8, Ludwig Hordegaard. Number 10, your captain, Medat Mujic. Number 11, Jake Turnbull. Number 15, Mark Hayback. Number 19, Pepe Cajudo. Number 20, Tilo Wilp. Number 41, Mo Tegeldin. And in net, number 25, J.C. Perez Castro. The Mayhem are coached by Luke Corey. The officials for tonight's game are Kyle Burkhart, Riley Swenson, Nicholas Hager, and Wesley Costa. We'd ask that you respect the decisions of tonight's officials. Their job isn't easy, and we couldn't play without them. Let's all give a round of thanks to tonight's ball chasers as well for helping us out. And now, for the singing of our national anthem, we'll ask you to please rise and remove your caps. Tonight, Daria Kuhn will be singing. Daria graduated from Century High School in June and will be attending Millikan University in Decatur, Illinois, majoring in musical theater. Thank you, Daria. And now, let's play soccer!
Good evening and welcome to the Rochester Regional Stadium for tonight's regular season finale with a ton on the line for the home squad, the Med City FC Mayhem, in their inaugural season trying to clinch a playoff spot, as they've been trying to do the last couple of weeks here. A heartbreaking loss last week to Duluth has put them in this situation, as they are tied with Duluth for second place, or first place rather. But Duluth does have the tiebreaker over Med City because of that win last week. So right now, Med City sitting in second. With a win tonight, they are in the playoffs. If they don't win, even if they tie, they're probably not going to get in. Earlier today, the Dakota Fusion, who are 1 point behind both Med City and Duluth, already beat the Minnesota Twin Stars, and so Dakota Fusion will have 27 points, assuming that 4-2 score late in the second half did indeed hold. And Duluth is playing against Sioux Falls right now as well. Sioux Falls towards the bottom end of the division standings, and so if you're Med City, you kind of have to assume that Duluth is going to take care of business, and even if they don't, they own the tiebreaker, and so you would need Duluth to lose to Sioux Falls outright and a draw to still get into the playoffs, with Dakota Fusion winning earlier today. So essentially, if you're Med City, you need to come away with the W. The issue for Med City the last 3 weeks, they've scored only 1 goal, including getting shut out last weekend in that heartbreaker to Duluth. If you watched our match, Duluth scored 2 minutes into stoppage time in the second half. That was a controversial goal, to say the least, in a grinded out type of match. And so Med City, the Mayhem, definitely in need of a victory here tonight. And they're playing a Minneapolis City team that stands in 4th in the conference, looking to play the role of spoiler. They would not have a chance of the playoffs even with a win tonight. They'd tie Med City at 25 points, but Duluth would have the tiebreaker over both squads if they lost to Sioux Falls. So a lot going on, really. All simplified if Med City can come away with a victory. You can see Minneapolis City in their pink and black uniforms. These two teams met in late May when the Mayhem scored 2 goals in 2 minutes on the way to a hard-fought 2-1 victory over the Crows. And so for Med City, you got to believe the offense needs to click immediately here tonight. They are in a scoring slump. And Luke Corey shuffling around the lineup a little bit here. This Minneapolis City team as well, 7-5-1 on the season, so only 1 tie out of 13 matches. And we are underway here at the Regional Sports Stadium, and it's going to be the Minneapolis City Crows starting with possession, and already you can see Med City looking to force a turnover. Up top, it's Tilo Wilk. Give and go with Pepe Cajudo. Matu Pazos wasn't announced in the starting lineup, but he is starting here tonight, so we're going to try to figure out who he is in for. As Frederick Manson comes over near side to inbound. And there is Matu Pazos getting the feed once again. Pazos near corner, centers one, and Turnbull got his head on it, but it was caught by Matt Elder, and so 55 seconds into the match, Med City gets off a pretty decent scoring chance. I don't think Turnbull expected to be able to even head that one, as a defender for Minneapolis City was in the area. But Turnbull still got a pretty good shot off of it. Nacho Garrido was announced in the starting lineup, but instead it's Matu Pazos in for him. Some things happening on the sideline. I did talk to the players down on the field earlier tonight. Nacho, or not Nacho, but the other Ignacio on the team. We have Nacho Garrido, full name is Ignacio. And then we have Iggy Mia, who also has the full name Ignacio. Mia is out both with injury and with too many accrued yellow cards. And so perhaps there's some confusion down there that perhaps Garrido is in that camp as well. As Cajudo can't handle that pass and keep it in bounds, it will go over to Minneapolis City. 2 minutes gone here in the first half. No score. A steamy afternoon here in Rochester. I should say evening. We had temperatures well over 90 degrees here this afternoon. And still plenty warm at the start of our match here tonight. Second half, things should cool off as the sun begins to set. Now as Mujic and Turnbull try to get a push. It's Turnbull pushed down by Martin Brown Jr. So Med City will maintain possession here with a free kick. When you go back to a couple weeks ago, Med City had a 5-point lead on everybody in the standings. Playoffs looked all but a certainty at that point as Gomez got one heck of a feed, and then I think Tilo Wilk was in the area to try for the rebound, but just missed it. Now it's Wilk heading one in, and it's picked up by Matt Elder. And so Med City with a couple chances here in the first 3.5 minutes of action. That was one heck of a feed from Turnbull. And Gomez looked like it was going to be a little too far out in front of him, and he was still able to get a nice attempt off of it. So despite not having any goals yet, a good start for Med City. Don't sleep on this Minneapolis City squad. Looking at the goal differential of these two clubs, Med City has scored 23 goals this season and given up 15. Minneapolis City has scored 30 and given up 16. So a better aggregate than Med City. Of course, we've seen the Mayhem win a lot of one-goal matches this season. As Cajudo picks that one away, tries to push it forward. And I think Tilo Wilk is going to get called there as he held on to Will Kidd.
Do you want your new startup to hit the ground running with a multi-million-dollar look? Do you need help visualizing your next great idea? Fuse Digital Creative Services is the answer. Specializing in creative brand design, Fuse listens and works with you to set your company apart from the competition. Websites, print ads, brand systems, and huge wild ideas. That's Fuse, a proud sponsor of Med City Football Club.
So a free kick coming from a good spot, and J.C. Perez Castro is there to catch it off the left-footed attempt from Martin Brown Jr. That thing had a lot of curve on it, and Perez Castro never took his eyes off of it, and it was never deflected by a member of that Crows attack. So Med City trying to push quickly the other way as Ben Wexler takes it away, gives way to Clinton Stockman-Willis. And here come the Crows once again, showing some life offensively after a flat first 4 minutes. And now a turnover. Pazos sending it ahead to Jake Turnbull. He's got Midat Mujic streaking in towards the middle. Turnbull keeping it himself, tries to center it. Pass was a little flat, taken away by Maxwell Kent. Far side, it's... Oh boy, we got two guys with dreadlocks. I'm going to get them confused a lot tonight. So any Minneapolis City fans, I apologize for that. Number 7, Martin Brown Jr. passes to someone who I can't see their number, but he's the other player with the dreadlocks, so I'll get that sorted out. Meanwhile, Med City regains possession. That other player is Abdallah Daz. So to fans of Martin Brown Jr. and Abdallah Daz, I apologize for getting them mixed up. I'll see the flowing locks and probably get it wrong more than once tonight. Penalty call on Med City. Again, it's Pazos, a push from behind. And so Minneapolis City will regain possession here. 7 minutes gone in the first half. Brown has it up top. And a tough pass as went right into the waiting foot of Pazos. No harm done, however, as Minneapolis City gets it right back. And now another turnover. Cajudo near side. Some room to work, and he's cut off by Will Kidd. Nice play there by Kidd. Now Wexler near midfield. Back to Kidd. Another bad pass. Here comes Med City. Mujic over to Cajudo. Cajudo centering it. Nobody home. And tipped away by Abdallah Ba. Oh, and see, there I did it. It was actually Martin Brown cutting that one off. I'll have to look at the shoes. Brown has orange shoes, and Ba has black with some pink in it. Welcome inside the mind of the play-by-play guy here as we're 8.5 minutes gone in the first half. A long kick by Elder. Battled for in the Minneapolis City zone. To Geldon, gives back to J.C. Perez Castro, who reverses sides of the field. Far side, it's Javier Gomez. Passing ahead to Jake Turnbull. Gomez, a little chip shot up ahead to Midat Mujic. Mujic back in the starting lineup tonight after starting out on the bench the previous 2 home matches. To Geldon, cuts that one off. Up ahead, Pazos chips it forward. It'll be tracked down by Aaron Olson. Actually, he'll let it go out of bounds first and then throw it in. And a bit of a dangerous pass there as Pepe Cajudo came charging in. That pass had a lot of loft to it. And now Elder wants to work quickly. And it's simply going to wait or end up in the waiting lap of J.C. Perez Castro on the other end. Mota Geldon dribbles it up from Med City. Gets it towards midfield. Nice little touch pass there from Matu Pazos. Pazos and Wilk with some give and go. And now Pazos, working against a couple defenders, hits the deck. Back come the Crows. 10.5 minutes gone here in the first half. Now to Geldon reverses field. Turnbull on the far side against Abdallah Ba. Ba tipped it away, but also tipped it out of bounds, and so Javier Gomez will send it in. Good crowd once again tonight. The 7th and final regular season match here in Rochester, and the Mayhem faithful have supported this startup team all season long. No fewer than 450 fans at any match this season. I feel pretty confident saying they've eclipsed that here tonight. As Ludwig Hortegard has it now for Med City. Dribbles towards the near side of the field. Pazos passes it back to Mark Haybeck. And Med City perhaps slowing the tempo here a little bit after their full court press to start things off. Pazos tangled up with Wexler. Will Kidd, rather. And Pazos gets the whistle.
SpiritofRochester.com offers a wide range of specialty Med City FC gear, from leggings to hats to phone cases. Looking for that unique piece of Med City FC apparel for your favorite Med City FC fan? Look no further than SpiritofRochester.com. That's SpiritofRochester.com.
To Gelding gets a foot on that one and clears it out towards the far side. Abdallah Bob will throw it in. And gave it to Isaac Frent, and Jake Turnbull thought he turned him over. The possession stays here, and now Wexler with a chance to Geldin takes it away. Nice play there by Mo to Geldin. He was the only one standing between Wexler and the net, other than the keeper, J.C. Perez Castro. With 13 minutes gone here in the first half, Minneapolis City with the momentum here the last few minutes, as Turnbull puts his hands in the air, saying he was pushed from behind by Bob. Turnbull typically absorbs a lot of contact, and so don't be surprised to see him hit the deck a number of occasions here this evening. Back towards midfield, Frederick Manson tries to shift it in, and now Martin Brown passes far side, left-footed pass up ahead. I think a handball was missed there by Cajudo near midfield. As these two teams start to play patty cake near midfield. Hortegard trying to force one up the far side towards Turnbull. Doubles over to catch his breath. And Abdallah Ba will send it in for Minneapolis City.
Pizza Ranch of Stewartville is proud to sponsor Med City FC. Saddle up the family and head to Pizza Ranch for lunch or dinner. Our menu includes pizza, the country's best chicken, and a full buffet. Head down to Stewartville for the area's best pizza. Let's ride.
Just about to the 15-minute mark of the first half here. We've played to a scoreless tie. Med City had a couple scoring chances within the first 4 minutes. And Minneapolis City had a good look at about the 7-minute mark. Ever since then, these two teams have kind of settled into a bit of a rhythm near midfield. As Pepe Cajudo hits the deck and is a little slow to get up. He appears to be okay. Matu Pazos will send it in. Pazos opting to dribble it in off the pass from Frederick Manson. And a nice pass up ahead. Turnbull keeps it alive, and Elder able to gather it. Another good chance there for Med City off of the feed from Matu Pazos, and that gets this home crowd up on their feet. Well, I mentioned the scoring woes for Med City this season, or at least the later half of this season, and you get the sense a lot of times that they're just one lucky bounce or two away from having a play like that end up with a goal. Centering pass and a good one by Clinton Stockman Willis is deflected out of bounds by a member of Med City. So I believe a corner kick will be on the way from the near side here. Martin Brown Jr. gets set to put it into play.
U.S. Bank works hard to support their customers and our community. They are pleased to champion athletic programs that enrich the quality of life for everyone. You can count on U.S. Bank to serve you and to cheer on the spirit of teamwork from the start of the game to the final whistle. U.S. Bank is helping businesses grow, families thrive, and communities succeed here in Rochester and all across the country.
Brown's corner gets deflected away, but right back to him. And now a left-footed shot attempt and a goal for Minneapolis City at the 17-minute mark. It's Isaac Frent who got the feed and heads over to the far side. I believe that sign says the People's Club on behalf of Minneapolis City. And the Crows have a 1-0 lead over Med City.
Scoring for Minneapolis City, number 9, Isaac Frent.
So as the corner kick by Martin Brown, unable to be cleared away by the Med City defense, which gave Isaac Frent a wide open look from about 15 yards out. And his left-footed shot attempt bent around J.C. Perez Castro, who really had very little time to react. So now for Med City, they got to answer, and they need to do so quickly, as that shot by Frederick Manson ended up a little closer than I think goalkeeper Matt Elder was ready for.
Orthodontic Health Center on North Broadway has been practicing for more than 25 years, offering braces and Invisalign for both adults and children. They offer free orthodontic consultations to assess your orthodontic needs. Dr. John Lawson has been a part of the soccer community for 25 years, and he's proud to sponsor Med City FC. Call Orthodontic Health Center at 507-282-6447 and schedule a free consultation today.
Pepe Cajudo with the nice feed forward to Matu Pazos, looking for Midat Mujic in the middle. Mujic got taken down, looking for a whistle and not finding one. And Med City, a little tendency to worry a bit too much about the officials the last couple home matches here, and so don't want to see that trend continue. And a lazy pass ends up with Stockman Willis, centering it to Tim Wills. Dribbles around a defender. Now a pass off to the left side. There's that man again, Isaac Frent, who couldn't handle it cleanly. Otherwise, he would have had a good look at a shot. I think he was lining up his shot before he ever gathered the ball. And so Med City able to clear it out. Jake Turnbull, far side. Dribbles towards the middle, dribbling through a ton of traffic. Gets tripped up. Mujic keeps it alive. Now a pass from Gomez back to Mujic. Got a shot off on it, and that one's still flying all the way to the football practice fields. So as we reach the 20-minute mark, Med City still trails 1-0, but they're showing some signs of life here. Matt Elder will send it in. Martin Brown Jr. with it near midfield. And they try to set up the offense here. Jake Turnbull nearly took that one away. And now it's far side, Abdallah Ba sending one in with the left foot, caught by Perez Castro, who fakes his way to quickly passing it back in, and now throws it up the near side. Manson to Cajudo. Looking for Midat Mujic. Mujic able to retrieve it. Some nifty moves here on the near side. Just couldn't find an angle and backs out now to Cajudo. And Cajudo, not a very crisp pass there, looking back for Mujic. And Mujic deflects that one out of bounds. It'll be Minneapolis City possession.
Financial is a financial services organization that helps Christians be wise with money and live generously. For more than a century, we've helped our more than 2 million member owners make wise money choices that reflect their values, and we provide opportunities for them to be even more generous where they live, work, and worship. Call me, the voice of the Mayhem, Nick Johnson, at 507-226-5275 for a free consultation.
So passing it in will be Aaron Olson of Minneapolis City. "22 minutes gone, so about the halfway point of the first half. Med City trailing 1-0 in a game they absolutely need to win. This was a team that had a 5-point cushion just 3 weeks ago in the NPSL North standings, and now needing a win to get a playoff spot. Top 2 teams in this 8-team division make the NPSL regional playoffs. And now a yellow card will be issued. I think that's Aaron Olson. It is on the near side.
The Sawbones Army was founded in March 2017 as a small group of local individuals who are passionate about supporting Med City FC and continuing to grow our love of the beautiful game in Rochester. The purpose of the group is to create a rooting section for the club, complete with drumming, flags, scarves, and constant chanting and cheering. The group will also collaborate with other local supporters groups, such as the American Outlaws, to create events and activities year-round to continue growing our love of the beautiful game in Rochester. Check out the Sawbones Army on Facebook at Med City FC Supporters Group and join the mayhem.
Opportunity there, lost by Med City, as Mujic got in close and got a foot on the ball, but couldn't get off a decent shot. So Med City has not had a lack of chances yet in this first half, but still waiting to score their first goal. As I mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, a tie tonight really doesn't do them much good, assuming Duluth doesn't get beat in Sioux Falls tonight. Pass up ahead, Abdallah Ba can't track it down. That one will go out of bounds.
Yellow card issued to Minneapolis City, number 2, Aaron Olson.
Mid City taking a moment here to kind of reset. As Mo Tegeldin has it. Again, it's a warm one out there, so fatigue may end up being a factor, but if you're Med City, a team with a lot of depth and guys who rotate in, we've seen that all season long. Different starting lineups and different guys contributing to put the ball in the net. But the problem the last half of the season here has been goal scoring, as Jake Turnbull gets the pass here near side, cuts back towards the middle, gets through a couple defenders. Brown gets a foot on it. Now it's tipped away, and that one will go out of bounds. And it's going to be a throw. Looked like it might just drift on the other side of the marker there, but no corner kick upcoming. It'll be a throw-in for Frederick Manson.
For our halftime entertainment today, we have our sponsor Bubble Ball Rochester hosting a game on the field right after the first half. If you are at least 14 years of age, come down to the Bubble Ball table by the entrance to the stadium for your chance to play at halftime.
Goalkeeper Matt Elder sending that one back into play. Martin Brown Jr. with it midfield. Passes to Abdallah Ba. And then it's touched out of bounds by Will Kidd. So a break there from Med City. And now Brown cutting through a couple defenders. Tilo Wilk passing ahead to mid-op Mujic. Mujic pushed from behind. Can't regain. We've seen these matches get more physical as well as the season has worn on. Jake Turnbull gets around Aaron Olson. And Turnbull, just too many defenders in the area. He had Tilo Wilk, but it looked like Wilk would have been offsides had Turnbull tried to pass forward to him. Hortegard up at the top, passing to Cajudo. Now Javier Gomez with it. Backs up, fakes the big strike attempt. And Ba tips it away, and they're saying it was last touched by Gomez. So that'll end the possession for Med City. As we cross the 28-minute mark of the first half. It's a 1-0 lead for Minneapolis City. Brown over to Olsen. Left-footed pass up ahead. Stockman Willis loses the handle, gets it back. And now charges one in, deflected away by Mo Tegeldin. But a corner kick will be on the way for Minneapolis City.
Global Sports Experience Network will be offering its next destination Barcelona Youth Soccer Camp from August 7th through the 11th. Join former Barcelona FC and Spanish La Liga professional players and camp coaches for specialized instruction the Barcelona way. For more information about this camp and to learn how to participate, be sure to visit www.gscnusa.com and be sure to sign up at the booth to be involved in the halftime contest. One lucky winner from the last 3 games will get a free entry into August camp. Sign up right now.
Tilo Wilk forcing the turnover, had a lot of room to work, and now tries to pass over to Medap Mujic. I think that one was tipped by Brown, and so Mujic, for the moment, will slow it down. And I got him mixed up again. It was Ba who made the nice defensive play. Cleared out, but kept in by Tegeldin. And now Turnbull, near side. Tries to reverse fields and hit that one. Javier Gomez able to keep it in play, but has to back all the way out to JC Perez Castro. Turnbull mishandles that pass. It drips out of bounds, and so Abdallah Ba sends it in for Minneapolis City. And now all of a sudden Stockman Willis, that is indeed called offside, so that goal won't count. He tried to twinkle toe his ways behind that yellow line, but he argued that call for about half a second before conceding that he was indeed offside. But a fortunate play then, nonetheless, for Med City. Had that one been missed, that would have been a goal for the Crows and a 2-0 advantage. It'd be very tough to come back from the way that Med City has been struggling offensively. And another case in point there. Stockman Willis bending another one in, and it's caught by Perez Castro. Will Kidd was charging in, and Castro essentially had to pick it right off his head. That's 2 chances in a row for Minneapolis City in just a couple minutes. Pazos with it near side. Hands to Cajudo. And once again, it's going to be Minneapolis City ending the threat.
There is only one goal: to outperform. Mayo Clinic sports medicine experts help athletes to optimize performance, minimize risk, and recover from injuries. Mayo Clinic Sports Medicine is proud to be the official medical and performance provider for Med City FC. Meet your goals by visiting sportsmedicine.mayoclinic.org.
Hortegard gets a foot on the Tim Wills pass attempt. Stays with Minneapolis City. Kidd now near side. Walks it in. Deflects off a couple players. Med City able to clear. Mujic at midfield. Fighting for it with Maxwell Kent. And Kent able to push it up ahead to Martin Brown Jr. Wills passes off to Frent. Gets to the middle a little too easily and then has it taken away. But only for a moment. Wexler reverses Fields. Stockman Willis, a little shimmy and shake on Javier Gomez. And was tipped away out of bounds. Abdallah Ba has it. Tries to center and finds Isaac Frent. Good defense there. I think that was Ludwig Hortegard, who at least kept Frent from getting off the shot attempt.
Bubble Ball Rochester is about to host a game on field at halftime. If your name is called now, head down to the Bubble Ball table and confirm your name with them. If you're under 18, be sure to bring a parent or guardian with to sign a waiver. Our 8 players are Cameron Schmidt, Tim Hope, Colin Schmidt, Zach Boyer, Kurt Naumann, Adele Pattinson, Marcus Yao, and Ben Persons. Head on down to the Bubble Ball table and confirm your name with them.
About 36 minutes gone here in this first half. It's a 1-0 lead for Minneapolis City on a night that Med City absolutely has to have. They have their work cut out for them here tonight. We knew it would be a challenge. Again, Minneapolis City, no slouch. They sit with 22 points and a 7-5-1 record. And now a whistle at midfield.
In a world of black and white, make your world pop with Fast Signs of Rochester. Their team of creative minds, experts, and problem solvers will help increase the visibility of your business. They have a full line of products and services, including design, banners, vinyl graphics, business cards, flyers, and much more. Give them a call for a free consultation at 507-405-3232. Fast Signs is proud to be the pregame sponsor for Mid-City FC. Fast Signs, more than fast, more than signs.
Tilo Wilk had it in the middle. Now Turnbull passing out to Cajudo. And Cajudo waits for it. Thought he might be a little more aggressive where that pass came, and now he passes to Pazos. Pazos tries to center it, cleared away by Brown. But I think they're going to say Pazos was out of bounds before he was able to send in that centering pass. That is indeed the call. Matt Elder will boot it away once again for Minneapolis City. Turnbull on the near side, tries to head it in, drifts out of bounds. Manson will be able to throw it in. Wilk gets pushed by Olsen. So Med City will have a free kick. Now we've seen Matu Pazos get pretty crafty when he's got a lot of distance between him and the net. So here comes a high arcing shot. Matt Elder comes out of the net and very easily grabs it. As Minneapolis City now looks to push the tempo the other way. Olsen near side. Passing to Kidd. Back to Ben Wexler. Now Brown looking for Ba. Ba to Stockman Willis. Walks it in. Now Ba. Far side. Had a step. To Geldon's clearing attempt. Goes high in the air, but it doesn't go very far. Med City will be able to take over. Gomez. Far side. Hortegard looking for the home run ball and nowhere close. So Elder will pick it up and pass it in. The pace has certainly slowed here the last 5 to 7 minutes. Fatigue perhaps a factor. Again, a warm day here in Rochester as the shadows start to cover the field. Stockman Willis passing. Isaac Frent, our one goal scorer, with it at midfield as the whistle blows. Backing off the Med City defense. Stockman Willis will walk it in. Ba ahead to Frent. And Frent gets crossed up by Mark Haybeck. Stays on this end of the field, however. And a nice little pass there. Stockman Willis offsides again. He's a little more upset about that one than the previous call. And the officials are going to have a little conversation with him. Probably a warning at this point. But they don't give him a card. Oh, now they do. They gave him plenty of chances. They talked to him twice, and then he wouldn't let it go, and so he does get dealt the yellow card.
Yellow card issued to number 17 for Minneapolis City, Clinton Stockman-Willis.
Well, for Med City, you needed some momentum here. You got to look at both Stockman-Willis and Aaron Olson having yellow cards in this first half. Maybe you try to pester each of them a little bit while they're frustrated. See if you can't go 11 on 10. You would think both of those players will be pretty reserved moving forward, but you never know. .42-30 gone in the first half here. Med City trails 1-0. A loss tonight makes the math pretty simple for Med City. They will not make the playoffs if they don't win, because Duluth has the tiebreaker and the Dakota Fusion won earlier today. And so the results around the conference won't matter if Med City can't pull off a victory or at least a tie here tonight. A tie keeps them alive, but again, you got to kind of assume that Duluth will beat Sioux Falls here tonight. That would put Duluth at 28 points. Med City would have 28 points with a win, and Dakota Fusion would be the odd team out with 27 points, which they have already secured. But for Med City, none of that really matters. Trailing 1-0. They need to get something started here. This would be some good momentum heading into the half, but instead Pepe Cajudo sends that one over the shed. And another chance ends for Med City.
Official restaurant sponsor of Med City FC. Join your fellow Mayhem fans before the game for a bite to eat and to prepare for the game. Or come out to Grand Rounds with the team after the game to celebrate their victory. Grand Rounds will also be live streaming Med City FC's away matches, so be sure to come down and watch the Mayhem with us, even when they're not in town.
Well, we do have an update from Duluth. Sioux Falls and Duluth are tied at 2 apiece. But again, even if Duluth loses tonight, it means nothing if Med City can at least come away with a point. Duluth, of course, beating Med City last week, and the way they celebrated, it was quite the spectacle. You would think they would have secured a playoff spot last week. They still need to get a point or need Med City to lose, assuming this result would hold up. But a lot of soccer left to be played as Jake Turnbull dribbles it in near side and gets cut off. Backed out to Pazos. Pazos tries to center it. It's headed back. Now Turnbull near side. Backs out to Manson.
1 minute of stoppage time.
This one drifts out. Manson waits for it to go out of bounds so he can throw it in. Quick give and go. And now Cajudo up ahead to Mujic, who tried the spin move. Couldn't maintain a handle on it. It's cleared out. And now Stockman-Willis has it near midfield. Probably time for only another push here by Minneapolis City, and not even that. The officials blow the whistle, and that will tie a bow on the first half. Minneapolis City leads Med City 1-0. We'll take a 15-minute break. You're watching the Med City FC
wedding, graduation parties, bachelor parties, company picnics, and so much more. Book Bubble Ball Rochester for your next event. Whether you want to play capture the flag or bubble soccer like what we just saw, we do it all. Check us out at rochester.bubbleball.com.
Welcome back as we start the second half of action here at the Regional Sports Stadium. Coming out of halftime, we'll see how Med City responds. Still in a scoring slump. Only one goal now in their last 3.5 matches. Shutout in that first half. And looking pretty flat ever since Minneapolis City scored that goal at the 17-minute mark. Mayhem came out pretty inspired, I would say. Had a couple nice shots within the first 4 minutes of action. Things definitely slowed down after that. As for Minneapolis City, wouldn't be surprising to see them try to go into stall mode right off the get-go here. Especially against a team like Med City that has been struggling to score. When teams typically start to press a bit more and settle for bad shots just to try to sneak one in. As it goes near midfield, Abdallah Bob. Up ahead to Martin Brown Jr., back to Bob. Walks it in near side, gets around Javier Gomez. Finds Isaac Frent. Frent scored that goal. It was a lovely left-footed shot after Med City failed to clear it out off of a corner kick. It wasn't directly off of a rebound. It was rebounded out, and then a pass over to Frent made that shot possible as Midat Mujic gets it back. And you can hear this home crowd. They are looking for any chance to get behind this Med City squad. Even as Mujic had that, he had a couple defenders in front of him, and you could hear the crowd start to get excited. They are certainly looking for something to cheer about. Med City simply trying to keep its season alive. They need a win tonight, essentially, to make the playoffs. They definitely can't lose. We know that for a fact. If they lose, the season's over, so a very playoff-like atmosphere as that shot by Frent is caught by J.C. Perez Castro. He quickly works it right back in to Javier Gomez. And Gomez brings it all the way across midfield. And a whistle blows. You're saying Cajudo got too handsy there. So Minneapolis City will take over.
Gear up and defend the North. Med City FC merchandise is available here at the game tonight. Show your true colors by picking up a t-shirt, scarf, decal, or more, or visit our website at medcityfc.com and order online. Or you can pick up one-of-a-kind items at spiritofrochester.com. You can find hats, leggings, and even phone cases. Be sure to check out spiritofrochester.com or visit them from the Med City FC website.
Just about 4 minutes gone here in the second half. Med City trailing 1-0 against Minneapolis City. The shadows are gone and dusk has started to settle over the Rochester night sky as Midat Mujic sends in that shot with the left foot. And a whistle blows against Minneapolis City. And we're going to have a corner kick. Thought for a minute they might award a penalty kick, but it'll be Ludwig Hortegard sending it in. He does bring over Pepe Cajudo, and he sends it all the way. Elder, able to deflect it away. As was a bit off balance while he did it. But he got that big right mitt on the ball and sent it out of bounds. And so Tilo Wilk will head to the far side. Passes it in quickly, and now a left-footed pass towards the middle. Cleared out by Minneapolis City. Bob boots one towards midfield. Montegeldon there to gather it. As Med City tries to reset here offensively, a lot of pointing and talking to then turn it over. It was French who took it away. Pazos and Gomez still talking, and now it's Pazos intercepting the inbound pass. Pazos has some room in the middle. Passes up ahead looking for Tilo Wilk. Deflected away by Minneapolis City. Now Cajudo. Up ahead, Pazos finding Gomez, right side. Gomez sends one towards the middle, deflected away by Martin Brown Jr. I looked at the shoes and I got it right as Brown Jr. sends it forward to Tim Wills. And Maxwell Kent able to keep it in play for Minneapolis City. And now they do turn it over. Wilk passing up ahead to Mujic, who trips up and gives it right back. That was Clinton Stockman Willis at midfield hitting the deck.
Get social with Med City FC at the game. Share what's happening tonight with your family and friends on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or Snapchat. And don't forget the hashtag MedCityFC and 90 Minutes of Mayhem. No, seriously, get your phone out right now and connect with us on social media.
Big save there by J.C. Perez Castro. But a corner kick will be on the way from Minneapolis City. As some clouds start to move in, we have had threats of rain this evening. I wouldn't think tonight's match would be threatened by that. But if it's starting to look darker out, that's because it is. It's not just because of nighttime, as Brown sends that one in, headed away by Hortegard. Now back out towards midfield. Turnbull giving chase on Aaron Olson, who keeps it on the Med City end of the field. And now Will Kidd passing it. And a perhaps a break there for Med City as Tim Wills caught it and got taken down in a strike attempt. And for Med City, you kind of get the sense they cannot afford to give up another goal. Especially knowing that a draw probably doesn't do it for them tonight. Nice slide there made by Mark Haybeck, who tries to get the crowd back into this one. We had an attendance at the gate of 574 people. And so plenty that are here to cheer. Med City just hasn't given them much to cheer about. To open this second half as Frent dribbles it in, and that one goes wide right. Isaac Frent nearly got his second goal of the match as he made a nifty spin move to get the open look and then struck with the left foot. Perez Castro unable to get a touch on it. And fortunately for Med City, it just kept traveling across from that far post. It's still 1-0, 55-minute mark of the second half. And Luke Corey is going to go to the bench now. Ayo Adebayo up and getting loose. With Tupazos up to Jake Turnbull. Turnbull gets tangled up and taken down. And they're calling the penalty on Med City. Both guys were jockeying for position there.
Thank you.
And now another whistle. Stops play for a moment.
MITRE is the official ball partner of the National Premier Soccer League. Visit www.mitreusa.com for more information and use the official Med City FC discount code NPSL117 for 25% off. That's 25% off purchases from www.mitre-usa.com with discount code NPSL117.
Minneapolis City's threat ends abruptly as Cajudo has it near side. Up to Hortegard in between three players for the Crows. Now it's Isaac Frent once again taking it away, coming in on left side, centering it, and Mo to Geldon there to prevent any sort of threat. And right away, here come the Crows now on the far side. Getting it right back. Some nifty dribbling by Aaron Olson. Turnbull sends it towards midfield, and gotta say, in the first 12 minutes of the second half, Minneapolis City has looked more the part of the aggressor. They've spent a lot of time in Med City territory, and oftentimes with a one-goal lead, that can be your best best defense is a good offense. Keeping Med City on the other end of the field.
Thank you.
Who's he coming in for?
Substitution for Med City, number 18, Ayo Adebayo, in for number 19, Pepe Cajudo.
So our first substitution is Ayo Adebayo in for Pepe Cajudo. Adebayo, one of those deep threats. He's got good wheels. So Med City just hoping for any kind of spark right now as Midat Mujic passes ahead, and Adebayo wasn't ready for it. He started to go into trail Mujic. Mujic wanted him to keep going forward. It's been that type of night for Med City. And maybe that type of month. Far side Turnbull, able to maintain it, dribbling towards the middle, but then has it taken away.
Thank you.
And so Minneapolis City on the far side slows things down once again. We've crossed the 59-minute mark, and another takedown by Med City.
families who are hosting our players this season. Without their generosity and willingness to open their homes to the team, Med City FC wouldn't be where we are tonight. Med City FC would also like to thank all the sponsors who have come on board with us for our inaugural season. It's not too early to start thinking about sponsoring the Mayhem in 2018. Contact us at medcityfc@gmail.com for more information. Yellow card issued to number 8, Ludwig Hortegard for Med City. Substitution for Minneapolis City, number 24, Nick Hines, in for number 12, Will Kidd.
So for Minneapolis City, a free kick from a friendly spot, and they don't try to send it right towards the net. It was Martin Brown Jr. instead passing to Clinton Stockman Willis. Abdallah Ba. Passes ahead, now Stockman Willis back to Frent. Here he is in that same spot. And Frent quickly collapsed upon by the Med City defense. And a good takeaway there by the Mayhem. The two Pazos passing way up ahead, too strong. Matt Elder picking it up in front of Midat Mujic. Back towards midfield, out of bounds, last touch by Med City. Frent towards midfield, Ben Wexler, back to Brown. And it's Turnbull, far side, able to take it away. He's got it back as the Sawbones Army starts to pound away on their drums. Mayhem haven't given the fans much to cheer about yet in this second half. Not even a scoring chance yet that's top of mind. Perhaps a chance here as Gomez gets it. Right side, up ahead. Dribbles out and is cleared. Nice clearing kick there by Trey Benhart. Out of bounds, Med City will have it.
Are you the coach or parent of a youth or high school soccer player? If so, then you want to be sure Mayo Clinic Sports Medicine with the Exos experts. Exos has supported professional athletes ranging from MLS and World Cup champions to Olympians, All-Stars, and MVPs. Maybe you're excited to have the chance to train just like they have. Learn today by visiting the Med City FC website at www.medcityfc.com. Your chance to play train like the soccer all session. Substitution for Med City, number 14, Dion Dozel, in for number 10, Minat Mujic. Also a substitution for Minneapolis City, number 3, Kevin Hoot, in for number 17, Clinton Stockton Willis.
We've crossed the 64-minute mark in this match. It's still a 1-0 lead for Minneapolis City, who has it in Med City territory once again, and Adebayo needs to be careful here. He came in and bowled over Ben Wexler. And I think some of the hometown fans thought Wexler may have flopped a bit on that. And so here comes Martin Brown Jr. passing it in. That one's cleared away by Med City, but out of bounds. So the Crows able to inbound. And now Brown, his pass taken away. Nice play there by Javier Gomez. Gomez a give and go, and like to see Med City maybe take a chance here. Start gambling a bit as they need a spark. Dozell, midfield, defenders collapsing around him. Gets it out to Pazos. Now Gomez on the right side, right back to Pazos. Med City lining up attackers inside the box. Gomez back to Pazos. Pazos into the corner. Centers it. Tipped around again. Adebayo got a foot on it, and then two defenders were in the area for Minneapolis City. Thought for a second that deflection was going to cost Minneapolis City as Elder was in the area, and now a stoppage of play.
Knows that the lawyer you choose makes a difference. If you've been injured as a result of the actions of another or gotten in trouble and need legal advice, please call our team at Mesh Special Defense. Our Rochester office handles cases involving both personal injury and criminal defense. Call 507-280-8090.
So back to the action. It's Elder sending it into play. And to Geldon, passing back to Perez Castro. And Javier Gomez near side. Gets it up ahead. Matu Pazos. It's double teamed. Now Gomez has that one tipped back by Abdallah Ba. And Gomez down on the floor and slow to get up. Gomez still on the ground trying to stretch. Perhaps a hamstring issue at this point. Well, Gomez up and just has to kick that one out of bounds. He's in severe pain as he heads to the ground. Tiernan Talbot is up and ready. I'm guessing he's going to come in for Gomez.
Substitution upcoming for Med City. Number 23, Tiernan Talbot, coming in for number 2, Javier Gomez. Med City FC is proud to offer youth club soccer players in Rochester and surrounding communities free season passes as part of our affiliate youth club sponsorship. Youth players who have shown their pass at the games got in all season long for free. A special thank you to Mayo Clinic Sports Medicine and Global Sports Experience Network for supporting this program.
So Javier Gomez walks off the field. Tiernan Talbot comes in. As we cross the 69-minute mark here.
Number 16 is coming on the floor. Number 8 for Minneapolis.
Thank you.
And Minneapolis City matching the substitutions here as they got another one.
Substitution for Minneapolis City, number 16, Connor Stevenson.
So both teams have already put in 3 reserves. And a pass up ahead. Dangerous one as that one went from the newly entered Connor Stevenson up ahead to Nick Hines. And Hines couldn't handle it cleanly. So another break for Med City here. Minneapolis City has had a couple chances here in this second half, and a second goal would almost feel like an insurmountable lead at this point as Talbot leaks away on the near side, goes towards the corner and can't keep it in. A symbol of the offensive struggles for Med City. As Talbot had some room to work and just couldn't get a handle on the ball before it went out of bounds. So Matt Elder will take his time sending it in for Minneapolis City. He sends it towards midfield. Talbot passes ahead, and now Hordegaard tried to find Adebayo. That drifted out of bounds. And you can see the body language from Med City right now just isn't all that lively. You hope they're not wondering too much about the scope of this match, knowing that they need a victory to secure a playoff spot. Right now they just need to worry about where their next goal is going to come from. As we cross the 72-minute mark in the match, they are running out of time.
Substitution for Minneapolis City, number 4, Ian Smith, in for number 17, Clinton Stockton-Willis.
Free kick upcoming here for Med City. Pazzo sending it forward and had a player in the area. I think it was Dozell who maybe had a chance at that.
Substitution for Med City, number 12, Claudio Rivadeneira, in for number 20, Tilo Wilt.
Corner kick upcoming for Med City as the fans continue to try to energize this squad. Claudio Rivadeneira fresh in for the corner, and it goes just wide as Adebayo got his head on it. Actually, no, that was Mota Geldon all the way from the defensive side. That one bent around the near side post. So Elder will send it in. Both teams have put in 4 subs. So a lot of new players out on the field right now. Med City's got to hope for maybe a mistake here by Minneapolis City in their own territory. And also for the Mayhem, the hope is that these fresh legs can have a fresh perspective as well. Maybe get off a decent shot. Matt Elder has not really had to work too hard to keep Med City scoreless here tonight. The Minneapolis City defense has done a nice job in front of him. As Connor Stevenson has it near midfield. Passing ahead is Martin Brown. Up to Abdallah Ba. First time in a while that Minneapolis City has been back on this side of the field. Kevin Hoof. Near side. Passing ahead and a nice look. Left-footed shot well off the mark there. I think that was Ian Smith. Turnbull absorbs some contact there. Smith keeps it inbounds. Talbot passing to Hayback. Up ahead to Hortegard. And now Claudio Rivadeneira. He was Med City's best hope last week against Duluth in that 1-0 shutout. Rivadeneira had about 4 different chances, or at least shot attempts. So maybe he can be the one to provide the spark here for Med City. Right now, at the 76-minute mark, still being held scoreless for the second consecutive week. Elder sends it towards midfield. Hortegard, nice pass up ahead. Adebayo and Dozell are in the area. Turnbull ahead to Dozell. Tips it up, clipped out of bounds by Minneapolis City. And Med City works it in quick. A lot of contact there. Someone from Med City just got the wind knocked out of them. And they're still down. I think that was Matupazos. And he does now get up. But is trying to walk it off. I think he had his breath taken away. And now to Geldon. Fighting a lot of hands. No whistle. And now a yellow card. And to Geldon saying he was grabbing me just as much as I was grabbing at him.
Yellow card issued to Med City, number 41, Mo to Geldon.
Well, J.C. Perez Castro did a smart thing there, pulling to Geldon back, as he was upset about the yellow card, which really, at the 77-minute mark, isn't all that significant. But if Tegeldon doesn't let it go, he risks that red card chance, and Med City's not going to come back with a one-player disadvantage. They need all 11 out on the field. And you wonder how long until J.C. Perez Castro starts to head to the other end of the field. Probably too early for that right now at the 78-minute mark, but for Med City, a desperate squad that at least needs to come away with 1 point tonight for even a chance at a playoff spot. Again, a win gets them in, but we're a long ways from that. Trailing 1-0. Pazos, near side, passing up ahead. Turnbull was hanging back. And now Elder keeps it from going out of bounds and picks it up. A good time kill there by Elder. That one tipped out of bounds by Talbot. And another substitution coming in for Med City.
Substitution from Med City, number 9, James Larson, in for number 11, Jake Turnbull.
Just about to the 80-minute mark now. Med City still trailing 1-0. as Ian Smith sends it over to the far side. Pushing it forward and now seeing it drift out of bounds off the foot of Mota Geldin. So a corner kick will be on the way for Minneapolis City. Trotting in is Martin Brown Jr. Well, the crowd has certainly been taken out of it after trying valiantly for a while to energize the Med City players. It's Med City's turn to give them something to cheer about. That corner is cleared. Dozell giving way to Rivadeneira. Tapped out of bounds. Quickly sent back in. Now Rivadeneira.
Thank you.
Back at midfield. Gets tipped back towards Talbot. J.C. Perez Castro. Pass to Mota Geldin. Gets it right back as they set up the attack. Hayback for Adebayo, who gets smoked by Kevin Hoof. And Adebayo picks himself up.
Substitution for Minneapolis City, number 25, Charlie Adams, in for number 2, Aaron Olson.
So they do indeed make the change. Adams coming in. Pazos will have a free kick from just about midfield, and you see Med City stacking everybody at the top of the box. And Pazos does send it towards the middle. A lot of traffic headed out by Brown. And now Rivadeneira gathers left side. He'll try to send it in through all the traffic, and Matt Elder is there to corral it. 83 minutes gone in the match now. Only had 1 minute of stoppage time in the first half. Guessing we'll have closer to 5 here in the second half with all the substitutions. And another ball goes to the end of the field without much of a threat. Adebayo is chasing it down. Payback.
Substitution for Med City, number 13, Johnny Lara, in for number 15, Mark Hayback.
Passing it in is Kevin Hoof. Med City is running out of time here, even if they want to come away with a draw. That's the only thing that at least keeps them alive. Last we checked, Duluth and Sioux Falls were tied at 2 apiece, but if this score holds, scoreboard watching doesn't mean a whole lot. Med City is done with a loss tonight. And we just got an update. It's Duluth as that shot goes begging for Martin Brown. Duluth is up 7-2 on Sioux Falls, so they figured it out in the second half. And so only a win gets Med City into the playoffs at this point. Stranger things have happened. 85-minute mark of this match. Med City needing 2 goals to keep their season alive. And Perez Castro looks upset as a substitution came in for Minneapolis City. A lot of guys raising their hands in question right now as we've had about a minute go by with nothing happen.
Substitution for Minneapolis City, number 5, A.J. Albers, in for number 10, Ben Wexler.
Adebayo heads it up ahead to Dion Dozell. Dozell tries to center it. Too many defenders there. And I think that was A.J. Albers making the play. Pass it in. Hordegaard tries to send it towards the net. And now sent out Med City. You can see the frenetic pace here, trying to pass it forward and get set. They'll have a free kick from a good spot. The first time these two teams met, Med City won 2-1, and they scored both of their goals within minutes of each other. As Pazos sends it in front of the rush, a lot of traffic, a lot of pushing. Frederick Manson looking for a call, not getting one. Drifts out of bounds and last touched by Med City.
Don't rush off after the game. Hang around and meet the team. Med City FC players will be signing autographs after the game, so be sure to get your programs or gear signed. And after the autograph session, come hang out with the team at Grand Rounds.
A let's finish chant being sent in by the Sawbones Army, as that was one of the most dangerous plays yet by Med City in the second half. Ball came drifting in, and it looked like Johnny Lara was in the area to perhaps make a header. It was cleared out by Minneapolis City, so a corner kick on the way. It'll be Matu Pazos once again sending it in. Pazos keeping it close to the net. And a swing and miss there. Couldn't catch the number. Could have been Lara once again. No, it was Claudio Rivadeneira. Just wasn't quite tall enough for that pass. 88.5 minutes gone now as Minneapolis City takes over possession. Up ahead, James Larson can't maintain the handle. And now it goes out on the far side, quickly brought in by Frederick Manson.
Thank you.
And a turnover in a bad spot here as Connor Stevenson up the middle of the field gets a shot out to Geldon, there to flip it away. 20 seconds away from starting stoppage time. I think we're going to get 3 minutes is what we believe we heard from down on the field. so Med City giving it everything they got here to try to keep their season alive with a miracle comeback.
3 minutes of stoppage time.
So Med City won't have a lot of extra time here to work with. As Pazos gets it. Sends it to Talbot, deflected away. Stays in bounds and then touched perhaps by Dozell. Yes, it was. And Dozell arguing that he got pushed into it. That argument's going to fall on deaf ears. Matt Elder is going to send it in, and if the feeling hasn't set in yet, it's starting to. Med City trying to do something miraculous here in just the last couple of minutes. Minneapolis City looking to play the role of spoiler tonight. Their season will end win or lose, but they would finish third in the standings if this score holds. And now a whistle blows as a player for Minneapolis City is down on the ground. And they quickly go back to action here. Dribbling over by the corner. That's a smart play there by Connor Stevenson, forcing Med City's hand to tip that one out of bounds. And they're just going to keep it in that corner now for the time being. Can start to see some bolts of lightning in that far away thundercloud off to our east. Symbol of the rain on the Med City Parade, a team that had a 5-point lead just 3 weeks ago before finishing the season with a tie and what looks like it's going to be 2 losses, which kept them stagnant in the standings after that huge win at home over the Dakota Fusion. And that is, I think, going to do it. The whistle blows. Many players for Med City hit the ground, knowing their season will come to an end in disappointment. Your final score, Minneapolis City 1, Med City 0. Stick around for a post-game interview with head coach Luke Corey. Well, welcome back. Nick Johnson joined here by Luke Corey. And Coach, obviously not the way you want to finish out a season, 2 consecutive losses. Playoffs won't be in the picture, but inaugural season. Bring us up to speed on, I guess, the season as a whole.
Yeah, I thought we had a great season. I mean, nobody can look at what we did this year and think that we didn't perform at our best or exceed expectations. To go into the final game fighting for a playoff spot in our first year is, just unheard of around here. And I have to give credit to all the players. They worked their tails off from start to finish this year. They never gave up. Sometimes it comes down to just being able to score a goal or two, and we weren't able to do that. But if anything, we're going to learn from that, and we're going to come back even stronger next year.
Yeah, and speaking of next year, obviously in year number 1, it's a lot of learning experiences, a big learning curve. And so what do you take from this season to bring forward into 2018?
Yeah, well, we know that we can play with any team in this league, and we know that we can beat any team in this league. I mean, I think we performed really well against every team, and if anything, it's just fixing a few of our smaller weak areas, and I think that's going to be fairly easy. A lot of these guys want to come back. I want a lot of these guys to come back, so we're going to have this first-year experience under our belt. We're going to clean up those weak areas, and I think we're going to be a force to reckon with next season for sure.
And 574 people at the gate tonight. Rochester did a great job all season long in 7 home matches of filling the seats. So talk a little bit about the atmosphere that's been developed here in the Med City.
Yeah, I've said it once and I'll say it again. Our fans are absolutely the best in the league and the best in the world. And I just want to say thank you to all our fans that tune in from across the world. Everywhere from across the U.S. to up in Canada. Hello, mom, dad, brother, and everyone in Europe and all over the place. I mean, we have so much support that goes beyond just the fans that come to the game, and that is what's going to bring our club to another level and make this a successful team next year and in the years beyond that for sure.
All right, well, Coach, thank you for an entertaining inaugural first season. Looking forward to season number 2 starting next year. But for Nick Novotny, Chloe Pifo, Frank Moline, and the rest of the Med City staff, we thank you for a fun 2017 season. Signing off, have a great evening.